Can VA doctors help you fill out medical paperwork to help your VA claim? The answer is yes, though at times they may act like they can't or may be resistant. Make sure to save this video to refer to it later and share with a friend. Don't be greedy. This came from a comment that I wanted to make a video on because it's more like a type out, and I wanted to show also the directive. But shout out to Brandon for this comment because I think it's a great point to expand on. VHA Directive 1134, page 4 specifically states doctors are encouraged to complete forms for their patients. These forms being DBQs, Disability Benefit Questionnaires. Let's jump over this way to the directive, right? So this is a VA directive in-house, right? And here specifically, we see this is provisions for medical statements and completion of forms by healthcare providers, right? So this directive is for the VHA's activity to help the BVA do their things behind the scenes and how they can even help you, the veteran. So specifically, jumping over to page 4, again, this is the title, so you can look it up as well. It is out there, it's public information. But if we go to page 4, this is where I really want to focus on, where it starts here on actually page 3. Provisions of medical statements to support VA claim benefits. When honoring requests of medical statements by veterans for VA claim adjudication, care must be taken to avoid conflicts of interest or ambiguity. But it goes on to pretty much say the following. For C, completion of DBQs, which is the point we're making here. A no wrong door philosophy must be adopted to accommodate veterans bringing a VA DBQ form to a VA medical facility for completion. Veterans may ask their primary care or specialty care provider. DBQs can be completed by the treatment provider during a routine office visit if there's sufficient time and medical information is available. This can also be done outside of office hours, and requests can be made to do this thing. On the second one, if VHA providers have questions regarding DBQs, including which DBQs they can or should complete, they can ask for further guidance from the BVA. And it gives these things here as far as more information is concerned. Other non VA medical forms, example, Family Leave Act forms for your work, life insurance form, non VA disability retirement forms, return to work status form. Again, the VA has the capability to do these things, even though at times they act like they don't want to do it or they may not be aware of this. Quick, simple, don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole, but when it comes down to getting support from the VA, this is something that is available. However, caveat, I always preface this with saying if they're willing to help you and want to help you, great, because they can put language that will help you in your argument for your VA claim. But if they're resistant and they don't want to do this, and you're walking in there and you're saying, "Hey, look at the form. You're supposed to help me." It's like going to the prom with someone who's forced to go with you. They don't want to be there. It's not going to be an actual good experience. No real dancing is happening, and it's going to be pretty much a shitty situation. Point being is you want your provider to help you and be able to provide helpful evidence and not do something reluctantly that really doesn't satisfy or meet the mustard, right? They're not necessarily going to want to do this. So if they do it, it's reluctant. They're just doing the very bare minimum because they don't want to be involved for whatever the reason may be, even though there's a mandate that said they should. So be aware, have a conversation, ask the questions you don't know unless you ask, or sometimes ask another provider. Again, many providers at the VA, many are willing to help, but sadly, some act like they cannot do this thing, even though there's a directive in place for that. 1134 is the directive. Head to page 4 and you will see the information there that we covered. Hope that helps.